Hello, lovelies. How are we? It's Lesley. Not quite enough time to get home and then get back again between two ceremonies. So I'm sitting in the car crocheting. How are we? Still a little bit croaky. Desperately trying to get rid of that because it's getting really on my nerves now. But it's not sore, it's just irritating, and the cough sort of catches me every now and again, which when you do public speaking for a living is not helpful. But I'll stop moaning. How are you all? I hope everyone's well. Thank you for all your comments and thoughts. Sorry I haven't answered them all yet. I am doing them as I can. It's still quite busy. Yeah, just the way it's going at the moment. Does feel like it's beginning to taper off a bit, which is good, so that I have a chance to sort of catch up with myself a bit more. But apart from that, same old, same old. I said last week I had nothing on this week, and I actually could have gone to drumming practice last night. It was our first one of the season. But given that I had an awful lot of work to do, and also this silly cough gets worse as I get tired sort of later in the day, it seemed sensible to stay home and rest up the voice. Himself had come back from his trip without any yarn or even any chocolate. I suppose that, I'm just glad that he's back safely. Yeah, so he came back, so, that was good. And the dog was very happy to see him. Yeah, so I stayed home, rested my voice, did my work, and didn't go drumming, which is a shame because I'd like to have gone, but it was the sensible thing to stay at home. So crocheting, I'm doing the crochet boxy that I started a little while ago using some Dennis Brunton yarn, which I do rather like. This was among the cones that I was given last year when a friend invited me to go through her aunt's yarn stash when that lady died. And as soon as I saw these cones, I thought, oh, they're nice. There are two partials. I'm not entirely sure how much is on there, but there are two partials, so rather lovely, rather pretty, I think. But with the dark brown in there, it kind of tones it all down. So that's my car crafting at the moment. And someone is parking next to me, so I'm going to pause and let them park. They've now wandered off, so that's good. So what else is happening this week? It's Tuesday as I record this. Basically working and hospital visiting again. That's pretty much life at the minute, but that's okay. Craft-wise, I've actually been taking things apart rather than creating this week. Given my clearing out of wardrobes and repairing of clothes and that sort of thing, I went through some old sweaters and cardigans and knitwear that I'd made a while ago. And I'll show you this when I'm back at home, but there are a couple of items that, one, it's crocheted and it's double knitting and worsted weight, so very heavy. It doesn't sit comfortably. It's one of those garments that I feel like I'm fighting when I've got it on. So that's being unpicked. And also a sweater that I made, and it was fairly snug when I made it, and even snugger now. So the yarn is being reused on that as well. So I shall talk about that in more detail when I have the yarns in front of me. I'm finding that quite a cathartic exercise, and goodness knows it's not that I need more yarn, but it's just nice to put stuff to use. I mean, the jacket cardigan thing, I think I made it in 2012, and I've probably worn it about 3 times, and certainly not for a few years. So yes, the yarn should be used better. Right, I'm going to carry on with this until I need to go and take my ceremony, and I'll catch up with you later in the week. Cheers. Hello lovelies, it's Thursday. I'm cold, hence double knitwear layers. Ranunculus and a shawl where I used the leftovers Ferroe shawl for the numbers and basically made the rest up, so just because people ask. Unpicking, frogging, taking things apart. I will go into a lot of detail about this because obviously it's fascinating at the month end podcast, but there's quite a bit of it. This is just the first batch, and there are some nice yarns in here. There's some Cascade. This Mild is a Cascade one. There's some Cascade 220, there's some Louisa Harding. So there's all sorts of good stuff in here that deserves to be worn as well as worked with. So that's what I'm doing. I've got about about a half of it unpicked at the moment. And I'm sort of doing a bit of an evening onto my niddy noddy and then soaking to try and get some of the kinks out from where it's been worked, and then obviously I'm tying them into a great big knot because that's what we do. So I'm going to spend the next couple of hours untangling this. No, I'm not. It's fine. It's fine. What else have we got going on? Well, the usual, not a lot at the moment. Fair amount of work. I mean, yes, it is easier than it was, but it's still pretty busy, so fair amount of that to do. And I think that's it. This weekend I'm going to take, see, I told you I'd get it all sorted. I'm going to have a day off, a whole day off, which doesn't involve funerals or visiting people in hospital. I'm going on a meditation retreat for the day. It's quite local to me, and it's some people that I know, and I've done retreats with them in the past, so I know that it will be fine and fabulous. Stop fighting me. So I'm looking forward to that. It's pretty much a silent retreat all day, I think. There are some parts of it, some meditations, some qigong exercises, that sort of thing, but also an opportunity to go for a walk, although looking at the weather it's a bit wet. I might decline that particular kind of offer, and there's also an opportunity to take a creative project and to work on it during the sort of quiet time, just have a bit of R&R. So I'm wondering if I've got a creative project I can take. I may take the crochet that you saw when I was in the car, partly because I'm going by car and that'll be with me, so if I forget everything else, at least I'll have that with me. Or I may take this, which is the sweater that I started last month. This is the 4 sweater by Nicola Suzanne. And in my usual manner of things, I'm working it in pieces and backwards, and well, not in pieces, but in sections and backwards. So I started from the neckband, working my way down. I wanted to do the actual neck treatment, and I wanted to use this particular yarn, which is some Manasto Uruguay silk blend. I have 2 skeins of this, and I thought that would be a nice thing to have neck adjacent. So I'm doing the neck treatment in that at the moment. Then I can cast that off, and I know that whatever I've got left I can put into the body of the sweater. So that's why there's a ball hanging off the bottom of the sweater, and I'm working on one at the top. So it's bunched up on 2 needles at the moment, so I can't really show it to you in any great detail, but it's my many shades of red sweater. So I will carry on with that. Like I say, I may take that, or I may just take the crochet. Both of these projects are fairly easy to work on without needing the pattern in front of me, so either would be appropriate. I think that's probably it for this week. I took some stuff to the charity shop last week, so I took a bit of footage as I drove along. That was to the kind of next town along to us. I didn't go to my normal town centre because it's largely pedestrianised, and I had bags of stuff that I wanted to be able to park relatively close to the shops, and you can't do that in a pedestrianised town centre. So, a bit of footage coming up of a grey and drizzly day, but a bit of a trek along to the next town across. So, whatever you're doing this week, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're looking after yourselves. If you're in the UK and suffering from snow, I hope that it thaws quickly. If you're in anywhere in the world and suffering from weather inconveniences, I hope that they're soon resolved and that you take good care of yourselves. And I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.